Hello, this is Sonia here with The Pretty Stitch. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time joining me, I'm so happy to have you here. So today is Wednesday, and that means it's the stitch of the week. So for today's stitch, I will be using my eye hook or 5.5mm hook and my trusty worsted weight yarn or number 4. And my hands are looking a little rough right now with gardening and stuff. Okay, so today's stitch is going to be a shell stitch. And I have quite a few shell stitch patterns, but I love them so much. I just think they're so pretty. And there's just so many neat varieties that you can do, variations. So we're going to do another one today. And for this shell stitch pattern, to start with, you can use any type of yarn or any type of hook size. It would work for a variety of yarns and hooks. So it's pretty versatile. So we're going to work an even number of chains for this. So for this stitch pattern, I'm going to, why don't we just chain 12. All right, so we have 12 chains here. So row 1 is just going to be a setup row, and we are just going to work a row of single crochet. So we will have a total of 11 single crochet. So I am going to single crochet in the second chain from my hook, and you can work in your chain however you want to. And we're just going to single crochet across. Okay, so we have worked our first row, so I think we have 11. Let me just double check. Yep, we have 11 single crochet. So let's start row 2. So row 2, we're going to chain 2 and turn. Now the chain 2, it kind of counts as a stitch, but it kind of doesn't, so don't really fuss too much about it. Don't worry about it, but it's just part of the stitch pattern. Alright, so we've chained 2. We're going to single crochet right in that same stitch. And we are going to chain 1, and we're going to double crochet right in that same stitch. And this is the first part. This is our first little shell here. And we are going to skip the next single crochet, and we're going to just repeat. We're going to work single crochet, chain 1, double crochet in the next stitch. So we have single crochet, double crochet, single crochet, chain 1, then double crochet. So it just creates kind of like a little tiny shell, a baby shell. So we're going to skip the next stitch, our next single crochet, and work single crochet, chain 1, and double crochet. So really simple stitches. If you can do these basic stitches, you can do this stitch pattern without a problem. Alright, so skip the next stitch, work single crochet, chain 1, double crochet. Skip our next stitch and then work single crochet, chain 1, and double crochet. And we have 2 left, so we're going to skip this next one, and then our final stitch, whoops, yep, there we go. We're going to work single crochet, chain 1, double crochet, just like we've been doing. Made that one really tight. I have that problem. I'm a tight crocheter. Alright, there's my chain 1, and then my double crochet for my final shells. So my little shell stitch pattern. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shells there. So now we are going to work row 3. So we're just going to chain 2, turn our work. Okay, so you are going to not work in this first double crochet or the chain 1 space. You're always going to be working in the single crochet. So rows 1 and 2 are kind of like the setup rows, and then rows 3 you're just going to repeat for the remainder of the pattern. So right in our single crochet here, we're just going to work single crochet, chain 1, double crochet. Alright, so we've completed our first little shell stitch there. So now we are just going to go right to our single crochet. So you're going to skip that double crochet, skip the chain 1 space, and just jump right to the single crochet. So you're going to work your single crochet, chain 1, double crochet. So skip the next double crochet, skip the next chain 1 space, and just go right to that single crochet, single crochet, chain 1, double crochet. So the reason why I like this stitch pattern, it's nice and condensed. So this would be really nice if you wanted to have a stitch pattern that's really dense and doesn't really show through. A lot of times, okay, focus, a lot of crochet stitch patterns, you know, you can really see through them, but this one's pretty tightly packed, so it's a nice, you know, really dense pattern, but it looks pretty. Oops, I forgot my chain 1, and double crochet. Because shell stitch patterns are often, you know, more on the lacy side, where this one is a little bit different. Alright, so I'm going right to my single crochet, chain 1, double crochet. So we're almost to the end of row 3 here. So on our final stitch, we work our single crochet right in that previous single crochet, chain 1, and double crochet. So for the remainder of your rows, for however long you want your swatch, you're just going to repeat row 3. So we're going to chain 2. I'll do one more row, repeating row 3. So we chaining 2, doesn't really count as a stitch. It just kind of gives you that little bit of wiggle room so that you can work your stitches really easily. So that's kind of why we're doing that. Alright, so we're going to jump right to the single crochet, skipping the chain 1 space, the double crochet, and working your single crochet, chain 1, double crochet. Going right to the next single crochet, chain 1, double crochet. So really easy stitch pattern, but I just think it creates a pretty result. And again, pretty versatile. You could use this in tons of projects, I think, from scarves to shirts or tops. I guess not really a shirt. Shirts like t-shirts, like what, cotton material? Sweaters. I think that's the word I'm looking for. Sweaters. Sorry, my life has been a bit rough lately, and so words are sometimes I use the wrong ones. But crochet is my happy place, and knitting. I do both, and also filming. It also makes me happy, and I just want to get some normalcy in my life, because my life is anything but normal right now, and I don't know if it ever will be. I guess I have to find new normal. But anyway, let's keep on crocheting. So let's finish up this row. So I'm at my last single crochet, chaining 1, and double crocheting right in that stitch there. So I will work a few more rows, and again, you just repeat row 3. Sorry, my camera is just struggling with the focusing today. But I'm going to work a few more rows, repeating row 3, and I'll meet you back. Alright, so I worked 8 rows here. So as you can see, nice and dense, nice dense stitch pattern. And if I put my hand behind it, you really can't see too much. So this is a nice alternative for the shell stitch. Usually they're very lacy, so this one, if you wanted to do a shell stitch but have, you know, a pretty opaque fabric, this might be a good choice. And it's also reversible, which is always a bonus too, because some patterns are not reversible. There's a right and wrong side, so this one is. So it might be nice for a blanket or a scarf, because sometimes when you make scarves, especially, you know, depending how you're wearing them, you know, the one side looks pretty like yuck, and the other side, you know, looks cute, and you want to make sure the cute side is showing, but, you know, it doesn't always work, so you know what I mean. Anyway, so I hope you enjoyed this Stitch of the Week, and I thank you so much for watching.